Hey, what's up, Spooky fam? Today we are talking about 10 more strange, unusual, under-recommended horror movies that I just want to put on your radar. So if you've seen any of these, let me know. If any of these pique your interest, let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, check out my links down below for more of me, or if you'd like to support the channel any further. Without further ado, I will not hold you up. Let's get into 10 more horror movies that I just think are personally under-recommended, but still wild as heck. Starting off with number 10 and a movie called We Are the Flesh from 2016. This one is absolutely batshit. After wandering a ruined city for years in search of food and shelter, two siblings find their way into one of the last remaining buildings. Inside, they find a man who will make them a dangerous offer to survive the outside world. And I will just quickly say we did a whole podcast where we talked about this for a good half an hour. I still can't stop theorizing about this film. It is so weird, so wild, but at the same time so shocking because there is unsimulated relations in it, and it's shot in a way that makes you feel really icky, but it is a wild film with beautiful lighting and a weird premise. So go into it knowing that. Don't say I didn't warn ya. At number 9 is a movie called Snatchers from 2019, and I genuinely think this is so underrated. Status-obsessed teen Sarah has sex for the first time and wakes up the next day 9 months pregnant with an alien, and it is just it's sort of like a body snatching little alien guy that hangs out on the back of your neck and makes you do crazy things. It's cool. I think it's a cool film. It's also a cool younger coming of age film with a younger group of actors, but I still think it's so well done. Coming in at number 8 is Something in the Dirt from 2022. This is, but I've talked about Benson and Moorhead so much. I love them so much, but this is a film that came out, it was filmed during the pandemic, and I feel like it reflects that. When neighbors John and Levi witness supernatural events in their LA apartment building, they realize documenting the paranormal could inject some fame and fortune into their wasted lives. And I will say this is one of their more wild concepts, but if you do want something from them that's a little more accessible, I would check out Synchronic. That one is on Netflix, I believe. Back to 80s horror at number 7 with the film Slugs from 1988. If you haven't seen this and you like good gore and practical effects, check it out. A health inspector and 2 helpers must hunt mutant killer slugs that call the sewer home. And honestly, we were just watching In Search of Darkness Part 3, and I didn't realize I should have watched that movie sooner. I heard about it sooner and I should have watched it sooner. I should say rewatching In Search of Darkness. But I loved Slugs. I thought the dubbing was horrible, but the gore and the premise and everything was so out of this world that it was such a cool film. Speaking of cool films, at number 6 we have a movie I've talked about before called Pussy Cake from 2021. A struggling all-girl rock band kicks off a new tour, hoping to rekindle their popularity. Soon, the band realizes that being forgotten by their fans is the least of their worries. I just really enjoyed this film. Speaking of good effects, good gore, well acted, beautifully shot, about a girl band, I love this film. No notes, I love it. Little weird time travel guy in the middle. I won't even ruin it. You know what? I won't even ruin it. Form your own opinions. At number 5, we have a film that we just recently watched and I loved it so much, and that is Beaten to Death from 2022. A desperate choice leads Jack down a path that leaves him beaten and bruised as he struggles against man, nature, and his own insanity. And speaking of gore, this one has some brutal scenes involving eyeballs. So if you don't like that, heads up. Coming in at number 4 is another film from 2022, and that is Give Me Pity. I love this film. Sissy St. Clair graces the small screen for her first ever television special, an evening full of music, laughter, glamour, and entertainment, but Sissy's live event quickly begins to curdle into a psychedelic nightmare of vanity, insecurity, and delusional ambition, provoked by the presence of a mysterious masked man. And honestly, I think this is one of the best things Utopia has put out, and I would highly recommend it, especially if you guys grew up watching like TV, like specials, like people like, I don't know, Carol Burnett, like things like that, where they're doing like a variety show. I think this really harnesses the good old days. At number 3, we have another film from Utopia that they put out called Divinity from 2023. And this film is a little strange, but we just recently learned about the stop motion effects that went into the movie, and I think that makes it so much cooler. Two brothers crash into the decaying earth to stop a capitalist from manufacturing an immortality serum, which is synthesized using heinous methods and leaving an increasingly dire infertility rate in its wake. And this one does star Bella Thorne and Moses Arias, both Disney Channel alumni. And number 2, another film we just recently watched, and I did want to recommend it, Perpetrator from 2023. Johnny, a wild and impulsive teenage girl, is living carelessly in a town where young women continue to go missing. She is forced to unlock a power hidden deep inside to survive, and Alicia Silverstone was so good in this film. That's all I'm gonna say. Honestly, I will also piggyback on the fact that this movie is kind of a choose your own adventure. It's definitely a coming of age film, but it is set up in a way where you kind of are thinking, what is forevering? And I will leave you at that. And we'll move on to number 1, a film that I fell in love with. I love this film with my whole entire heart and soul. That is The Greasy Strangler from 2015. Ronnie runs a disco walking tour with his son Brayden. When a sexy woman takes the tour, it begins a competition between father and son for her love. It also signals the arrival of an oily strangler who stalks the streets at night. This movie was made for me. The humor, the jokes, everything, I feel like it was made for me. Like, it's so good. It's so funny and it's so disgusting at the same time, and I will recommend that as much as humanly possible. So if you hear it on another list, no you didn't. Alright, that is 10 more horror films that I think are weird, wild, messy, strange, odd, but super under-recommended and underrated, and I think you should check these out if you guys like horror movies or diving into the weirder side of cinema. So on that note, I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.